All right, welcome everybody. So we're here in Shanghai, but this time across from the Bund. You can see to the left of me. The Bund is a historic district of Shanghai with all the colonial era buildings, but now we are on the Pudong side here. We are in Lujiazui here, and you can see those very tall, futuristic-looking skyscrapers. That is the Pudong Skyline here in Lujiazui, and that's what we're going to take a tour of tonight here, and we'll learn how basically farmland transformed itself into one of the most iconic skylines in the world here, and we'll see, of course, some very famous skyscrapers, very futuristic looking skyscrapers along the tour night. So just glad to have everybody here with us as we go for a tour of Lujiazui. Okay, everybody, you can see over there, that's the Bund. That's where we were the other day. That is the historic district of Shanghai here. It's over the Bund. Over there at the Bund, you can see the customs house, that clock tower right there, and also the HSBC Bank right next to it here. But we are going to go away from there and we are going to step into the future. Look at this here. This is Lujiazui Skyline here. It is very big, very iconic here. All lit up at night. Good contrast to the other day's video here. And we're going to make our way over there to the Oriental Pearl Tower over there in the distance here, and we'll take a walk to there. First along through here, Bund here. More modern buildings over there. It's a very good place to see much of the skyline here in Shanghai. Yes, there are a ton of people here. That is because there's a holiday here in China. It's National Day. Basically, China's July 4th, pretty much. It's just after though, but they celebrate a week long for National Day, so there's still a lot of people out. All right, we got to go down through this avenue here, past this mall over there, huge mall. China's a ton of malls, of course, here on the side of those buildings there. But we got to go down this avenue, and then we'll get to elevated walkway to where we'll get to the Oriental Pearl Tower over there. All right, we're now about to go on the elevated walkway here, but we'll get some amazing views of all these very bright, tall, futuristic skyscrapers here. Got the escalator here. All right, and here we are. Elevated walkway here in Lujiazui. All right, so here we are in the middle of it all on the elevated walkway here in Lujiazui here. And it's hard to believe none of this really existed before 1990. This was basically farmlands and shipyards. But then the Chinese government decided that this was going to become the financial center of Shanghai. And you can see all these buildings, they just started going up one by one, these many tall, futuristic, very bright skyscrapers here. And that was the first one that went up here. That's called the Oriental Pearl Tower. That was completed in 1994 over there. And that is what we'll go to first here on our walk on the elevated walkway here in Lujiazui. That's a good view below right there. We're on an elevated walkway. It's very convenient. Keeps many pedestrians above all the traffic here. There's a ton of traffic here in Shanghai, and not even everybody has a car, but there's still a lot of traffic, as you can see below us. A ton of traffic. We're all above it, though. All right, so here we are. We're at the base of the Oriental Pearl Tower. Like I said before, this was the first building constructed, completed in 1994, the first major landmark here, constructed in Lujiazui Skyline. And the design actually comes from an ancient poem about pearls falling onto a jade plate. But actually, when it first opened up, not many people were big fans of the design. Some thought it looked a bit too childish, like a toy from the future. But ever since then, it's become very popular and instantly recognizable across the world here. Oriental Pearl Tower. And there's the surroundings here. Lots of people coming out. Lots of shops surrounding. All right, we're back on the elevated walkway here, and we just came from the Oriental Pearl Tower over here, the first building completed here, and we're going to go across the walkway over here to the three most famous skyscrapers, the Jin Mao Tower, the Shanghai World Financial Center, and also Shanghai Tower over there in the distance. That's just across the other side of the walkway, so we'll have to make a circle over here. Alright, we're getting closer here. Just gotta turn off where we're getting good view of all three skyscrapers here. The three of the most famous ones anyway. And there they are. Three buildings I was talking about. Alright, so here we are. Those are the big three skyscrapers, three of the most famous buildings you will find in Shanghai. And you can see that one that looks like a pagoda with the steps there. That is the Jin Mao Tower. That was the first one completed here of the three in Shanghai. That was finished in 1999. That is Shanghai's first super tall skyscraper. And behind that, you can see the Shanghai World Financial Center. It's nicknamed by the locals the bottle opener because it does look a bit like the bottle opener. That was completed in 2008, and that is a symbol of Shanghai's status as the center of finance in the world. And next to those two skyscrapers, you can see the Shanghai Tower. That is the second tallest skyscraper in the world, and it's quite an impressive sight. It's got a curved shape to protect against the wind here. And there you have it. That's the three big skyscrapers here in Shanghai. And now we're going to take a closer look at the Shanghai Tower, and that's where we'll wrap up. All right, we're going to go to the Shanghai Tower, the curved skyscraper over there, and that's where we'll wrap up the tour here. Go towards the base there. Across that bridge. Through here. Oh, we're getting very close to the big three skyscrapers here. We got to go through a mall first. IFC Mall. It's a view behind us right there. It's like a world of skyscrapers here, everywhere. Even aside from the big three, there's tons more skyscrapers here. There's Oriental Pearl Tower over there. And we will just go through this mall here. And here we are, a mall in China, IFC Mall. We're only going to be in here for a little while though. We're going to go through here. Alright, I think we'll go down here, escalators, get right up to the tower, Shanghai Tower. Right in front of us. There it is. We'll go down. Escalator here from elevated walkway. Alright, we're going to cross the intersection now. These intersections in China, they're massive. Look how big it is. Way big. Big intersections. Massive. Big. Like everything in China. Massive intersection we're crossing. We gotta go soon. And we're through. Yes, we made it. All right. Let's see. And here we are. So we're right next to the Shanghai Tower. There it is. Right next to it. All right, everybody, we're going to end it here at the base of the big three skyscrapers. But thanks again for watching. And we took a tour right through the heart of Lujiazui. All these very tall, very bright, very futuristic skyscrapers, they are very clear evidence of China's rise over the past 30, 40 years. And it's hard to believe none of this existed before 1990. But the government made a decision that this big business district, it just had to happen, and here we are. So I'm going to end here. Thanks again for watching, and if you like these videos, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you everybody for the next video.